Dear student, I am Dr. Harold Thomas, Professor in Applied Geology, Department of Applied Geology, Dr. Hari Singh Gaur Vishwavidyalaya Sagar. Today in this course, I will deliver my lecture on Geology and its Perspective Part 1. I will cover this topic in two parts. In first part lecture, I will proceed under the following heads: the introduction, petrology, structure geology, economic geology, physical geology and historical geology. Hope it will be useful for you before embarking upon the main topic of the paper, that is metamorphic petrology and thermodynamics. Geology includes all the sciences, geology, geophysics and geochemistry that study the petrology, structure geology, evolution and dynamics of the planet Earth and its natural minerals and energy resources. Process such as mountain building, earthquakes and volcanic activities are directly or indirectly. Geology, thus stated, interdisciplinary science because the range of topic, the range of subject and the range of processes that man studies for the sake of the better understanding of things that are happening around us and surface of the earth and things that are underneath its face affecting his lifestyle on the surface of the earth. That one has to know physical, chemical and biological aspect of it. So a single subject of geology is formed, which are very nice integration: physics, chemistry, biology, astronomy. In Scotland in late 1700s, Sir James Hutton, one way is starting this law of uniformitism may be like this: similar processes operating under similar circumstances proceed similar result. If we the starting words, then we put a modified that there is a high probability that similar processes operating under similar condition with produce similar result. This is the basic of all scientific investigation. The physicist, chemist and the biologist, they have experiment to the replicate the natural phenomena. The term petrology comes from the ancient Greek word petra, rock, and logos, study. That means the study of the rock and their origin or formation. That includes origin and classification of rock as well as the interpretation of their origin. Petrology is divided into igneous primary rock, sedimentary secondary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. Igneous and metamorphic petrology are combined due to the similarity of approach and principle involved during their formation. Sedimentary rocks, that is concerned with the physical and chemical properties of the sedimentary rocks and the processes involved in their formation, including the transportation, deposition in geosynclinal basin, lithification and transformation to sedimentary rocks after diagenesis. The study of the forces that deform the earth's rocks and the description and mapping of the deformed rocks bodies, structural fabrics and defected such as fault, folds, foliation and joints are internal weaknesses of the rock which may affect the stability of the human engineered structures such as dam, road cuts, open pits mines and underground mines or road tunnels. Specific studies within the mineralogy includes the processes of mineral origin and formation, classification of minerals, their geographical distribution, as well as their utilization, study of the chemical composition and structure of the minerals, and its importance during studies of petrology. Economic geology is a sub-branch of geosciences. It is the branch that deals with the earth materials that can be used for economic and or industrial purposes. These materials include precious and base metals, non-metallic minerals, construction grade stone, petroleum minerals, coal, water, radioactive minerals, and geothermal sources. This branch describes the useful minerals, ores, and non-metallic minerals in respect of their commercial value, metal content, mode of occurrences, classification, grade, uses, and origin. An applied aspect of the important branch includes geological exploration, value assessment of economic deposit, mining, beneficiation, reserve estimation, and different aspects of mineral economics. The applied aspect of this branch have great bearing on the formation of conservation measures that leads to a national mineral policy for the country. Physical geology. Physical geology is the study of the minerals, soil, earth rocks, and how they have formed through times. Complex internal processes surface. Internal heat and energy are released also through volcanic eruption. External processes such as glaciation, running water, weathering, and erosion have formed the landscapes we see today. Physical geology includes mineralogy, the study of the chemical composition and structure of the minerals; petrology, the study of the composition and origin of the rocks; geomorphology, the study of the origin and landforms and their modification by dynamic process; geochemistry, the study of the chemical composition of the earth materials and the chemical changes that occur within the earth on its surface; geophysics, the study of the behavior of the rock material in response to the stresses and according to their principle of physics; sedimentology, the science of the erosion and deposition of rock particles by wind, water, or ice; structure geology, the study of the forces that deform the earth rocks and the description and mapping of the deformed bodies; economic geology, the study of the exploration and recovery of the natural resources such as ores and petroleum; and engineering geology, the study of the interaction of the earth crust with human-made structures such as tunnel, mines, dams, bridge, and building foundation. Historical geology deals with the historical development of earth from the study of the rock. They are analyzed to determine their structure, composition, and interrelationships, and are examined for remains of the past life. Historical geology includes paleontology, the systematic study of past life form, stratigraphy of the layered rocks and their interrelationship, paleogeography of the location of ancient land masses and their boundaries, and geological mapping, the superimposing of the geological formation upon existing topographic maps. Historical geologists divide all time since the formation of the earliest known rocks, that is 4 billion years ago, into four major divisions: Precambrian time and the Paleozoic, Mesozoic, Cenozoic era. Each except the Cenozoic ended with profound changes in the deposition of the Earth's continents and mountains and was characterized by the emergence of new form of life. See geological time scale, broad cyclic patterns which run through all historical geology includes a period of mountain and continent building followed by one of the erosion and in turn by a new period of elevation. Broadly stratigraphically deals with the succession of geological events and or rock layer from the beginning of the crustal formation up to the present time. It aims at establishing and describing the correct order of superimposition of the rock unit on the Earth's surface. Thus, it actually establishes the correct succession of the rock formation oblique layers. It thereby unfolds the history of the geological events on the Earth from the geological past to the present time, and hence it is also referred to as historical geology as a synonym. Stratigraphy is a branch of geology which deals with the start of sedimentary rocks, their succession, thickness, age, variation, and correlation. It is principally used in the study of the sedimentary and layered volcanic rocks. In this lecture, I will proceed under the following heads: paleontology, applied branches like geochemistry, hydrogeology, environmental geology, engineering geology, marine geology, geophysics, and early geological studies. Hope it will be useful for you before embarking upon the main topics of the paper, that is metamorphic petrology and thermodynamics. It deals with the morphologic characteristics, mode of preservation, taxonomy, classification, and geological history of the ancient life, both invertebrates, vertebrates, and of plants. Fossils are remains of geologically very old and ancient life in form of entire body or hard parts, which are calcified and or silicified, petrified in form of molds and cast, or as a traces of remains, relics, which are preserved in various modes within sedimentary strata. Fossilization is a natural process. Fossils have important uses in the field of biostratigraphy, correlation, paleoclimates, interpretation, top and bottom criteria for correct stratigraphic interpretation, paleogeographic reconstruction, and economic geology field for their different aspect. Paleontology incorporates knowledge from biology, geology, ecology, anthropology, archaeology, and even computer science to understand the processes that have led to the organization and the evolution, destruction of the different type of organs since the life arose. This branch is of relatively recent application in which chemistry of the earth constituents are studied, and as such it relates to the study of the occurrences, distribution, abundance, mobility, etc. of different elements present in the crustal apron, study of the chemical composition of the earth material and the chemical changes that occur within the earth and on its surface. Geochemistry has made important contribution to the understanding of a number of processes, including mental convention, the formation of the planets and the origin of the granite and basalt, In this methods, geochemical anomalies detected in the ore bodies and its surroundings are used to locate the variety of metallic and non-metallic economic deposit. The realm of geochemistry extends beyond the Earth, encompassing the entire solar system. Also termed as geohydrology, hydrology refers to the scientific study of the water of the earth, especially with the relation to the effect of precipitation and evaporation upon the occurrences and character of a water in stream, lakes and on below the land surface. It deals with mode of occurrences, movement, qualitative and quantitative nature of the groundwater present in the zone of saturation below the surface. The characteristic of the water bearing and conducting strata, the aquifer, are studied to access the groundwater potential in terms of quality and equality. In terms of the hydrological cycle, the scope of hydrology may be defined as the portion of the cycle from precipitation to re-evaporation or return to the water of the sea. Applied hydrology utilizes scientific finding to the prediction rates and amount of runoff, river forecasting, estimates required spillwell and reservoir capacities, study soil water plant relationship in agriculture, estimate available water supply and for other application necessary to the management of water resources. This is the branch that relates geology to the human activity. It describes the reciprocal relation between the environment and the modern mankind, the modern society and its detrimental effects on our ecosystem through mining, township formation, deformation and other anthropogenic activities affect the global environment balance through pollution of air, water, land and biota, in which concept of geology and civil engineering are given nearly equal weightage to construct engineering structures in the most suitable and safe geological site recommended by the geological studies. Restoration of the environment through geological endeavors is prime interest to the modern society. Geology play a positive role in environmental impact assessment EIA and environmental management plan EMP. These aspects constitute the cardinal theme of the emerging branches. The realm of the engineering geology is essentially in the area of earth structure, interaction or investigation of how the earth or earth processes impact human-made structure and human activities. Works completed by engineering geologists includes geological hazard assessment, geotechnical, material properties, landslides and slope stability, erosion, flooding, dewatering and seismic investigation, etc. Engineering geology studies are performed by a geologist or engineering geologist that is educated, trained and has obtained experience related to the recognition and interpretation of the natural process, the understanding of how these processes impart human-made structures. This allied branch deals with the application of geological knowledge in evaluating and favorably location in the littoral, offshore and shell regions to explore into the realm of marine sediment sites to describe the coastal geomorphological characteristic, the presence of offshore oil and gases, reservoirs, and vast mineral wealth of the black sands beach placers. Oceanography is the study of the physical and biological aspect of the ocean. It is an earth science which covers a wide range of topics including ecosystem, dynamics, ocean currents, waves, and geophysical fluids, dynamics, plate tectonic, and the geology of the sea floor. It relates to the study of physical property like gravity, density, magnetism, electricity, seismic wave behavior, electrical and electromagnetic behavior, and radioactivity response to the rock and mineral deposit. Underneath, geophysical methods take place. The advantage of the deviation of the properties from normal ground behavior, that is, deviation from the normal values, termed as anomalies. These methods are quickly and easily completed on the surface over large areas, which can be explored economically and efficiently. Exploration geophysics, otherwise termed as geophysical prospecting methods, are helpful in knowing the subsurface geological structure to help in discovering variety of metallic minerals, radioactive deposit, and petroleum traps. Resistivity method in particular aid in assessing the potential of underground water of a region. Remote sensing is acquisition of information about the object or performer without making physical contact with the object, and thus, in contrast to the on-site observation, remote sensing is used in numerous fields including geography, land survey, and most earth science discipline, for example, hydrology, ecology, oceanography, glaciology, geology. It also has military intelligence, commercial economic planning, and humanitarian application. Observation on earth structure and processes were made by a number of ancient, including Herodotus, Aristotle, etc. Their individual effect in the natural history of the earth, however, provided on substantial progress. Their major contribution is that they attributed the phenomena they have observed to natural and not supernatural causes. Many of the ideas expressed by these men were not to resurface. Following branches of geology are very common nowadays: petrology, economic geology, geomorphology, hydrogeology, mineralogy, crystallography, oceanography, paleontology, plate tectonic, rheology, volcanology, sedimentology, stratigraphy, seismology, structure geology, geochemistry, isotope geology, etc. Dear student, today in this lecture we have discussed about the paleontology, applied branches like geochemistry, hydrogeology, environmental geology, engineering geology, marine geology, geophysics, and early geological studies. Hope it will be useful for all of you before embarking upon the main topic of the paper, that is metamorphic petrology and thermodynamics. I believe this lecture was useful for you. For further studies, please read the books, links, and references given in the text. Thank you very much.